What's up, everyone? Welcome to a gorgeous Saturday evening here in Saigon, Vietnam. It's March 1st, 2025, about 11 o'clock p.m. Temperature is 77 Fahrenheit, 25 Celsius. I remember Saigon being really busy on a weekend night, and I expect no less tonight. We're going to walk towards Yen Hui Walking Street and see what kind of activities are going on there. Yeah, we do have a late stream going on, but being late is the only way we're going to find out if there's a lot of activity at this time of the day. In fact, we may even be streaming into early Sunday morning. There's plenty of motorcycles and cars still on the road, as you can see. Sounds like there's even an ambulance here. Yep, ambulance on the way. Oh, interesting. An Bin saying that they'll have the Alzai Festival from March 1st to 9, where Miss Vietnam and the celebs will show up in Alzai on Yen Hui Street. Well, it's March 1st right now, but we are a little bit late tonight. But that doesn't mean that there won't be activity there. Oscar Garcia saying, "Hey Action Kid, it's been a while since I joined your live." Well, welcome back. I'm glad you're here. Asking if I still live in Miami. Right now I live in the moment and I'm enjoying every second of it. I think that's how people should live their lives too. Look at all of these motorcycles still active at 11 o'clock at night. Or motorbikes. I remember having a discussion before what constitutes a motorbike versus a motorcycle and a scooter. They're all similar vehicles, but I think in general motorbikes tend to be on the slower side compared to motorcycles, even though they're pretty much the same word, bikes and cycle. It doesn't really make sense to me, but that's the way it's classified. But I do find that more people refer to these kind of vehicles in Southeast Asia as motorbikes rather than motorcycles. Oh, Dutch Maz, yeah, moped is another one. Two-wheeled motor vehicle, to be very clear about it. The metro is even closed at this time, I think, because it doesn't operate past midnight, or maybe it is open for maybe another train or two. The gate is closed. So you can't even take the metro right now. You know what even closes earlier than the metro? Is the bus. The bus that I took to District 7, if you watch that video, had operating hours until 19, which is 7 p.m. Vietnam uses the 24-hour clock. Actually, myself, I even changed my phone's clock to the 24-hour clock, or military time. I say we're a good like 5-10 minutes from Rin Hui Walking Street. Bill Ellis saying to go to Bui Vien Street. I was actually there a few moments ago. There's a party going on that street. I don't know when I'm going to be releasing that video, but at the end of this block is actually a shopping mall called the Saigon Center. But that's past hours now. I think most of the activity is happening around Rin Hui Walking Street and also Bui Vien Walking Street. But that's the other way. It says I went to Saigon Center already. Let's try Diamond Plaza Mall. Yeah, I'll check that mall out another time. Right now I think it's too late for that. I do like the malls here in Vietnam. They're very lively, and what's actually eye-opening to me is how many buffets are available in these shopping malls, especially Asian buffets and seafood buffets, and for relatively affordable prices too. You can have a buffet for like $7-8 US. It's crazy. CAC 813 says we use military time at my job at the hospital. I use it all the time now. I have my phone and one of my watches set to military time. Well, it makes a lot of sense in a hospital setting, because you don't want to confuse the AM and the PM when it comes to medical conditions. Being accurate is very important. And also with the military, hence why it's often referred to as military time, because there's a big difference between 11 a.m. and 11 p.m. Also, aeronautics uses 24-hour clock as well. Also, an easy way to convert the 24-hour clock to the AM and PM clock is to subtract 12 off of any time 13 and higher. But then you got to be good in math. Sometimes you're like, what's 21 minus 12? You might have to do some carrying over and doing multiple lines with your subtraction if you can't do it in your head, or just bring out the calculator. We're just 1 block away from Rinhui walking streets. I'm getting excited. By the way, they're allowed to go through the red light because there's a green scooter right turn light available. You see that all the time. So on the weekends, Yuanhui Walk still is at this time, but I know at least the center portion is going to be closed off. Yeah, I don't think the entire street is closed off, just the center portion of Renhui Street. Probably if we came a few hours earlier, the whole street would have been closed off. But I see some motorbikes going on the side. All right, finally we are here. Look at this. There's green light, but we're having a hard time crossing the street here. By the way, I think I heard this somewhere, but drivers are supposed to yield to pedestrians at the crosswalks. That's what's on the law and what's written, but in practice, you see what happens. I wonder if this works. Well, blinking red man, we gotta wait for the green. All right, let's go. Hey, look. That was an easy crossing comparative to what they had to go through before on the last cycle. And now we're here. The ever so lively Rinhui walking streets. Standing around watching the performance here. These golden statues are still around. They're very talented to be able to stand still like that. Look at this, some snakes. More snakes. After all, it is the year of the snake, so I don't know. People react differently when there's a statue of a snake and then there's a real snake. They're like, oh wow, that statue's so cool, but then when they see a real snake around someone's neck, like, ah, get away from me! Can't help it. Already, but apparently not. Maybe next week this will be open. There's a lot of work going on here. Hey, you know what? I think An Bin was saying there's the Yao Dai festival, and I see Yao Dai here. He says it's going on from March 1st, but I guess maybe they can't have this festival unless all the structures are up. Oh, S says beware of the elevator scam at the cafe apartments charging to use the elevator. Well, it's not a scam if they advertise. There was another area in Vietnam near Da Nang. I think it was called the Am because that was like a long staircase to go up. I love seeing all the bright lights here. And there's some walk in here just to see what's going on. There's a lot of work being put into this festival that's going on. Well, we are getting some intermittent buffering. I mean, I kind of expected at this point on this street. I'm doing the best I can do with my 2 connections. At least it's much better than the first day I streamed with Viatel only. Oh, Hung Mao saying you missed our answer about the elevator. There was an area where I went to in Da Nang. I think it was called the 7 Magic Mountains, and they also charged to use the elevator. But I think at that point it was worth it because there was a long staircase. They're working hard putting this all together. I guess the Al Zai festival isn't on yet, or at least not completely. dude says Greenway Street needs 3D screens like in China and Japan. Well, even Times Square has 3D screens now. And I'm pretty sure Shibuya Crossing had 3D screens too in Japan. Maybe this construction is why they did not close off the street, at least for this Saturday. I'll need to come back again when this is all put up. I wonder how they're going to utilize these structures being put up. It kind of looks like there's a stage. Maybe they're going to have some models on the stage showing off the different yaozai that they have. Or I think it's called aozai is the right pronunciation. I'm kind of putting emphasis on the first two letters, but I think it's the last three letters. So it's aozai. But for people who don't know, an aozai is a Vietnamese dress. And they can be made from different materials that are often ornately designed with different patterns like flowers and animals. In fact, I even saw some aozai with my friend Dan when we went into some of these local markets that were selling the aozai. And there's even some vendors that can custom tailor the aozai to your size and measurements. Oh, cool. Anvin saying aozai is like a full singing and dancing show with all the history showcased along the street. And it's not just Saigon, but it's nationally. Oh, look at this. I think this is going to be like the main stage. There's a lot of seats here. Maybe they're going to have a announcer and performers up there. Oh, there's a water fountain here. Does this work? You know, people say not to drink the water in Ho Chi Minh City, but if there's a public water fountain here, I'm kind of curious and I want to give it like a taste test. Having a little bit of water is not going to kill me. I hope it won't make me sick. A public water fountain in Ho Chi Minh City. Let's let it run for a minute because it's safer. Flushes out all the heavy metals that are in the pipes. Na, 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 na. All right, let's drink it now. You know, this water is actually pretty good. I don't really taste any like metal residue in here. In fact, it's better than a lot of the water that I had in the US, especially from the Florida Everglades. Don't ever drink water from that water fountain. That was a mistake. Just drink the swamp water. But even better than some New York City tap water, I've tasted like some metals in the New York City water. This water is good. I think it's filtered. It has to be. Yeah, it's maybe a little bit of metallic taste, but it's not bad. But I have to really like think very hard and think there's a taste there. I don't really think there's a taste at all. I think it's filtered, this water fountain. Now look at all these motorcycles. Look at this bicycle. I actually wouldn't mind riding a bike in Vietnam. I just saw a rat going into the bushes there on the side. Hi. Hello. There's plenty of rats in Saigon, I'm telling you. Just walking back, I've noticed a lot of rats. So if you weren't scared of the snake, you might be scared of the rat. It's funny when they have the animals of the Lunar New Year zodiac up. They're like, oh wow, it's the year of the rat, and then they have like cute drawings of the rat, and then you meet a real rat and you're like, oh no. I'm telling you, man, all those animals on the lunar zodiac are vicious, or can be vicious. I've even met aggressive rabbits. If you watch Monty Python and the Holy Grail, you'll know they needed to use the holy hand grenade to finish off that rabbit, which was murdering all the soldiers. And you may think the farm animals are tame too, like the pig, right? Oh, what's a pig gonna do to you? But if you ever read the novel Animal Farm, oh boy, those pigs are not your average pigs. I'm pretty sure they're going to be taking down these decorations soon, because they have the Alzai festival going on. I don't think they may have these Lunar New Year decorations up at the same time. Yeah, Laura, they are beautiful displays here. I just wish that everything was up already for the Alzai festival. But at least this will do for now. Whoa! Look at these colorful dogs. Vicious. Oh my gosh. I've never seen anything like it. Probably says me neither. These kids are having so much fun with these dogs. Wow, being chased by a small dog. That is scary. Oh man. Oh my gosh. Even at 11 o'clock at night, 11:30 now pretty much, this street is still busy. You know the street I'm talking about in front of me. I mean, granted, it's there's less cars and motorbikes now, but still busy. SS Saigon looks so alive. I mean, here we are. It's almost midnight now. Anna says looks like a safe and lively city. I mean, for the most part, I find that to be true. I have heard stories though of some pickpockets. You can get scammed easily if you don't know what to look out for. And there's also some pickpocketing concerns and thievery that happens on motorbikes and in crowded areas like Wu Vian Walking Street. And Ben says they opened a new park on the other side of the river. Last time he went to the park on the other side of the bridge. We should take a look. I'm walking here. Woo! Let's go. Hey, look! They're all stopping for us.
Hey, look, you're still alive.
Ah! Shake your hair like this. Be like, yeah, we did it. Oh, Hung Mao says it was buffering at the wrong time. Too bad. You know, Anbin, since you mentioned it, there's a new park across the river where I was last year. That area I think is called Tutim. Yeah, Tutim is on the other side of the river. Maybe we can walk over there. I just noticed last minute. There. Hello. They were taking pictures. S saying the Metropole to Tim. Yes. The Metropole, I think, is the apartment complex there. As says that ferry that goes to District 2 is amazing. The view from the ferry. I may have to take it sometime. Yuan Chung with 129,000 dong saying you seem to be used to crossing the street in Vietnam. I mean, I've been here long enough to know what to do, but I appreciate the support. Just gotta be confident. As I said, that my first time coming here is just natural to me. Be confident, make eye contact, and just judge the speed of traffic, and that's it. I love this area of Saigon. It's so nice. So many people here just hanging out by the river, enjoying their life, having drinks. That's the Ba San Bridge, which goes over to the Tu Tiem area. I think we should walk over there tonight. I can always grab a taxi to go back. Look at this, everyone. It's midnight in Saigon. Plenty of people out. Look at Cotton Knot Coffee and Tea House. There are so many people just hanging out by the riverside, enjoying a drink, a coffee. This is such a nice place to relax. I mean, granted, the high LED billboard may not be your style, but there's a nice breeze here, and you get some great drinks. What more can you ask for? Trendy Cosmetics with £2 saying you can't stop laughing. Well, I think that's a good thing, right? Appreciate it, Trendy Cosmetics. Thank you. Look at this, there's even a nightlife. It's not by Yuanhui Street. This seems to be the place to hang out. So this is where you can get the ferry across the river, or along the river, I guess. This ferry station, Saigon Water Bus Departure Table. Oh, they even have English, so that's good. Departs from Bak Dang Pier. Is this Bak Dang Pier? Yeah, it is. Bak Dang. Or I'm trying to learn like the tones in Vietnamese. I think this is like Bak Bak Zang. Bak Zang. But in English they don't even have the tones, so Bak Dang Pier to Tu Tim Bin An Tan Da Hip Bin Chan Lin Dong Piers and back. By the way, if you want to know what I'm talking about with Vietnamese, here, this is how you're going to learn.
Vietnamese language challenge. Let's start. Okay, let me start from the middle.
Yeah. Vietnamese is a tonal language and there's 6 tones. Not only that, but the letter A, there's 3 versions of the letter A and there's 6 tones for each. So there's 18 variations of the letter A with their own tones and accents. And you thought Mandarin Chinese was hard with 4 tones. Autumn Wolf says is that it's actually in a Latin alphabet, so at least you can read it from a Latin language standpoint, like English, Spanish, French, but yeah, it's not exactly from that family of languages, so it's foreign. I guess it's very similar to like the pinyin system of learning Mandarin Chinese, because that system romanizes the Chinese characters and you could kind of pronounce it with the English. Han Benson, I say Vietnamese is the gateway to Chinese, Korean, and Japanese. Sound it out and you mastered all. Well, Han Bin, Vietnamese actually is its own language because it's evolved from Middle Chinese for a long time. Because even though the Chinese had a large influence on Vietnam, they occupied Vietnam for a long time, for thousands of years, but that language at that time was from the Middle Chinese era. So then you had Old Vietnamese, and then Middle Vietnamese, and then Modern Vietnamese. So there's like multiple iterations of evolution, and the words don't really sound the same anymore. Plus you have geographical differences. Vietnamese is part of the, I think it's called the Austro-Asiatic languages, whereas Chinese, Japanese is the Sino-Tibetan family of languages. But even though the languages may be like thousands of years apart, some of the older dialects of like Chinese do have some similarities with Vietnamese. Like if you watch my video that I did with Dan vs. World on Action Kid Extra, we had some sui cao. That's the way you say the Chinese style dumplings in Vietnamese. Meanwhile, in Cantonese Chinese, it's sui go, so it's almost a similar. Sui cao and sui go. And even the name of the restaurant that we ate at in Vietnamese, I think Dan said was Ngọc Yi, and in Cantonese, it's Yok Yi, so it's very, very close. And in Thai Chinese, which is where my family background is from, I know a little bit of it. The first word for jade is actually Ngoc, so it's even closer to Vietnamese than the Cantonese is, because it's Ngoc and Ngoc. So there's Ngoc, Ngoc, and Yok. I think it's very rewarding to learn languages. You get to learn a lot more about culture, and you can interact with people a lot more. Whereas if you go in blind and you're only speaking English, you'll never really like understand completely. That's why even though I'm not in a place for very long, I try to learn a little bit of the language just to express my gratitude, at least say hello. Like even though I was in Japan for one day, I learned some basic Japanese, and that actually helped me. And when I went to Quebec, Canada, I was picking up a little bit of French. In fact, I think I still remember some French. Mais enchanté de rencontrer. That's nice to meet you in French. Merci. Thank you. And I was using parler anglais a lot in Quebec. So this is the Basan Bridge. Daniel says, how much do you remember after your trips of the different languages? I mean, like with any thing in life, if you don't use it for a while, it's harder to remember. Sometimes some things stick more than others. Like my Spanish, I almost completely forgot most of the words and how to speak it, but I can actually read a lot more Spanish than I can speak and listen to. And I kind of feel that way with my Mandarin Chinese. I can actually read a lot of characters, believe it or not, compared to actually speaking it. So if anyone remembered my live stream from last year, I'm a little bit, I should say, concerned about crossing this bridge because there was a mean dog at the end of the bridge when I was here last year that kind of chased me away. Let's hope there isn't a mean dog this time. Daniel remembers that dog. That was a not a nice dog. All right, time to go up the staircase and over the bridge. Loot 7 says Chihuahua waiting for you across the bridge. Yeah, Dan's family's Chihuahua is kind of swell. This one's open, we can go up. Let's go up the staircase. I wonder why the bridge isn't lit up tonight. I've seen it lit up at nighttime, but maybe it's too late now because we are almost at midnight now. Okay, here we are, the Basan Bridge. That's the skyline of Saigon. Hey, thanks $4.99, the charging Mighty Bull. Appreciate the support. Thanks so much for joining in. The Mighty Bull is in the room. Some people, I actually don't think they're supposed to, because one time I came here, there was a traffic cop, I think, giving tickets out, but they're not here tonight. Oh, Loot 7, it's late, that's why they turned the lights off. What time do they turn off then? 10 p.m. As to me asking if I have plans to record in other countries in Southeast Asia, like for example Indonesia, Malaysia, etc. Well, there's a lot of places I'd like to see. All I have to say is stay subscribed to my channel and you'll know. I wish I could be everywhere at once, but it's physically impossible. Is to be in a place that's most meaningful for you at that time. Seeing all these people here makes me want to take my own selfie. Oh, I gotta move a little bit there. There we go. Maybe I could move it a little bit this way. Hard to get the right angle. I think it's even hard because I'm stretching out my hand. It is a beautiful view. What they're doing is even better. Oh, I didn't even show the other side. That's Landmark 81 and Vinhomes Central Park over there. And this is over here is Vinhomes Golden River. And that's a cool looking building. I don't know the name of that building, but nice blue lights there. Oh, the new park is on my left, saying Anbin, I guess, over there. Laurie's saying, reminds you of the Brooklyn Bridge with all the people doing their selfies. In a way it does. Even the Golden Gate Bridge, I had the privilege to walk across that one. I guess this is the place to do it in Vietnam. Okay, come on, thank you. Hello and thank you in both English and Vietnamese. It kind of enforces the fact that I'm a foreigner. Is where to greet someone or to address someone else, you have to address them by their relationship to you, in meaning that you have to address them according to gender and age and status. And there really isn't a concept like that in English. The same thing happens with, like, I don't know, You could say like, hello, your majesty, if you want to like be really, formal, but it doesn't really have like the same ring to it as some of these Asian languages. I still don't even understand it in Chinese, and I've grown up in a Chinese family and even studied it in Mandarin. Like there's a word for older sister or younger sister, older brother, younger brother, this aunt, that aunt, second cousin who's been married like 4 times and had like 3 sons or whatever. Oh my gosh. And sometimes it's weird because it's like if you guess their age wrong and refer to them using a word that's not like their actual age, they can get offended at you. Like, hey, why'd you call me as like grandpa? I'm not that old yet. It's so freaking annoying. Sometimes you could call them younger than they are and they'd be flattered. Like, oh wow, I'm not that young, but I appreciate it. I kind of like the English way. Just go, hello, instead of hello, great uncle, old guy, and be like, no, I'm a young guy, I'm still in my 20s, I just had chemotherapy and that's why I have gray hairs. It's a stupid system. I think it's outdated. So that's what I do in a lot of these Asian languages. I say, hello. Forbin Colossus says call everyone brother or sister. That does happen in some of these languages where like if you call brother or sister, it kind of works that way, but not all the time. I kind of learned some Vietnamese like greeting words or relationship words already. Like there's an, which is greeting someone that's older than you, and then there's em, which is younger than you, and then there's chi, which I think a chi is older than an an. I don't know. It's so complicated. And I'm not sure if there's such a thing in Vietnamese as measure words, but my gosh, those measure words in Chinese is so annoying. And with the measure words, it's like a placeholder to represent an item. Like if you want to say like I'm kind of losing my train of thought now, and where the heck am I? How do I get over there? Which means one car, but if you want to talk about the wheels, you have to use a different measure word instead of ga to refer to the wheels. To refer to like round objects. It's so annoying. I think we're back on track now. So An Bin says there's lots of measure words just like Chinese. Darn it. S says you think you're not going to find many people there at this time at midnight. Maybe, maybe not. But still a nice area to walk to. Oh, did we walk past midnight already? Yes, we did. It's Sunday morning, March 2nd. GS25 grand opening for 50%. Oh, Loot says to someone younger than you and a girl, you say M-oi and an-oi. This is going to be so confusing, just like Chinese. I still don't get all the relationship words in Chinese, so forget about Vietnamese too. I'll just stick with hello. And I hope I don't get attacked by referring to someone who's older as younger, or as younger who's older, or whatever. But I think it happens more often than you think, so I don't think people will be that easily offended, but what do you think, everyone? If I use the word to greet you and I said that you're younger than you are, would you be offended? Or if I greeted you and said you're older than you are, then would you be offended? Which one's better, to say they're younger or they're older? Which one's safer to say? Loot says definitely younger. Okay. I'll call them a baby then, and then they'll. Oh man, they'll really be offended. You call like some guy with gray hairs and a long beard, "Hey baby," they'd be like, "Do I look like a baby to you? Treat your elders with respect." Oh wow, look at this. Asian izakaya. I think they've wrapped up for the night. Not much going on here right now. Oh boy, Loot had that problem back in the day. He called my friend who was a guy baby, and he said, "Stop calling me baby, I'm not your baby." Oh boy, yeah. You don't want to get called that young. But what if you call a baby an old man? Oh my gosh. When you hold that baby, they're probably gonna, I don't know, spit on you or something. Aw, you're so cute. You look like Grandpa. There's not much going on here tonight. Just garbage collection. I kind of remember when I was here last year, there were a lot more lights on. Maybe because it's midnight now. We came too late here. Just garbage collection and just like a handful of people here now. But not too many. Lutz says, yeah, bro, you gotta come early, like around 6 to 7 p.m. I guess so. Now it's way too late. The lights aren't even on some of these buildings. And the bridge is off too. Anyway, I think this will be a good spot for me to start winding down this live stream. Maybe I could find the pickup location for the motorbikes here or a taxi and make my way back. All right, everyone. Let's wind down this stream from Sunday morning here in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. March 2nd now. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you around next time. Bye, everyone. Take care.